3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
It is Wednesday, the Dennis and Andy show, where we are both in the same room. This is no illusion. See?
Oh, and you saw Andy voguing.
And I was voguing. And I have to apologize right out of the gate. I didn't get your consent to touch you.
Oh,
You're going to have to go to HR.
give me my phone.
Oh, damn it. Now he's going to have to...
I'm texting 911.
Now he's going to have to complain to HR because I didn't get his consent before I patted him on the shoulder. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again.
You should be.
Damn
You
it.
should be.
Right out of the gate, screwing things up. It's a Wednesday. We've got lots of stuff to cover. We'll give you a rundown. We've got new comics. We are going to touch on Charles Grodin. He was an actor that we both grew up with.
Yeah.
And enjoyed so much of his work. So we each picked one of our favorite Charles Grodin movies, and we thought we would share the trailer with you guys. So you can guess until we show them what movies they might be.
Because you guys might have a completely different thought.
That's true.
He was really one of the best straight men, but we'll get into that.
He was, and he was just so good. And the funny thing is, I knew he was still alive, and when I heard he passed before I saw his age, I guessed that he was actually like 90. So I was close.
You were close.
Yeah, I was
You were
close.
close.
But
So
wow.
It's new comics. We're going to touch on Charles Grodin. We went in, we got some Brie Larson and Star Wars news. We got a little Bad Batch. And we went to the theater. And there were actually people in the theater, which was nice to see again.
There were more people than I expected.
Right?
Actually, for that
Kind of
movie.
liking to see that.
For that movie. Not, I mean, in general, it was nice to see people in the theater. And, if you saw our graphic, we're talking about Spiral.
We are talking about Spiral.
So we'll be distant on that. Howdy, Tom. Thanks for joining. So, yes, we'll be giving a review of Spiral from the Book of Saw. I don't even want to get into it because I could just go off because I love that stuff.
Well, we should just kick off with our fantastic normal Wednesday stuff. We all know we took our trip to the comic book shop. What did the boys get?
Well, let's just
Big
see.
week, as usual.
Not for this guy. This guy bought one book. So when it comes to a big week, it would be because of this spendthrift over here. Also hitting a convention this weekend, so I'm saving up my pennies for the convention.
Yeah, speaking of which, we've got a Hickory convention, Hickory Con. So if any of you are within driving distance of Hickory, it's always a good show. We will be there on Saturday from open to close.
Yeah, because I'm a guest artist at Hickory Con, so I'll be taking my wares to sell. So anyhow, new comics, it's Wolverine, it's X-Men. That means it's a Dennis book.
It's a Dennis book. Anything X.
Yep, which
Next.
is cool. Nothing wrong with that. Another X book, Way of X.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one turns
Did
out.
this one not just come out not even a month ago?
Yeah. They're just like Marvel's just they're just putting so much out right now so quickly, and they're not even a month apart. I mean, it's just like the Heroes Reborn, which we'll talk to.
What's up, Biffer?
Yep, I'm not arguing with that either. It's if I wasn't such an X-Men fan, but this is hard. Heroes Reborn, we've gone into detail about the first two. First one was meh. Second one, I mean, Dale Keown just nailed it. It was really decent. And this one, I have no idea.
This one, Dennis bought this. I bought one. I bought two. Like Dennis said, we both talked about issues 1 and 2. I'm off the bandwagon. I'm sorry. If you're going to do an event, which is 7 issues, I want to see consistent art. You started strong with Ed McGuinness. You went to Dale with an Ed McGuinness 5-page backup, I guess.
Yep.
So I could get behind that. And I'm not saying this guy who drew this 3rd issue, whose name is escaping me, I'm not saying he's not of the same caliber. I'm just saying that, you know what? I want consistent art when it comes to like a miniseries like this. I'd rather have seen Dale Keown do the 5-page backup last issue and this guy do the 5-page backup instead of
I
taking
agree.
Ed McGuinness
Or
and flopping him.
give each artist, but make them big artists, like, you know, do an Adam Hughes, a Dale Keown. Give some big artists one issue to do with their style. That would be kind of intriguing. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So
but anyway, I'll read it. I'll do the quick flip this week and put it out. And then you guys can kind of let us know, you know, if you want us to do a full review on it.
Radiant Black, that's a new book from Image. It's kind of Invincible-esque.
Yeah, Kyle Higgins. We've kind of done the first ones, and it's been pretty decent. It's a good superhero-ish book. I've liked it. We wanted just a little more from him, so we're going to see if this is going to stay on my pull list. It's been decent.
Actually, this is one Dennis and I got 2 books this week. I take it back. I've been getting Batman Fortnite, 0 Point. I'm actually intrigued by the story. I think you are as well.
You know,
it's interesting.
I just did a full review, so I did the quick flip of both 1 and 2, and then I've done a full review of 1 and 2. I honestly thought I was going to hate the book. I mean, it's just not up my. I thought I'm not a Fortnite guy, and I thought, yeah, this is going to be boring. But it's not. It's intriguing. It's far better than I thought. Andy and I were talking about, because this book is a hot toddy. Big hot commodity. Everybody wants it because of the codes, because there's a lot of Fortnite players. So Andy and I were talking, we're going to come up with some kind of a promo where we will probably find a way to give away all 6 codes when this is done to a lucky winner. We're going to come up with some kind of contest, because everybody keeps contacting us. If you don't want your code, we'll take it. Well, you know what? We're going to find a way to make that happen.
Yeah, I don't play Fortnite. I haven't peeled the sticker off for the code on issue 1 or 2 or 3. So yeah, we'll do something to give away those codes to a lucky Fortnite fan. Say that multiple times. This is a new one. I don't know what this is. Oh wait, this is the second.
The Many Deaths of Layla Starr.
Oh, that's right.
I did a full review on it, and I did a quick flip, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, far more than I thought I was going to. Super interesting concept. It's a corporate environment, you know, and Layla, Death gets fired. One of the gods. This is all. Yeah. So the concept is really interesting. I want a total fan of the artwork, but the art, once again, meshes very well with the storyline. So yeah, I definitely picked up number 2 because I thought 1 was great.
Nice.
Got a little fly in here that's going to die.
Good. Kill it.
Blade Runner Origins. I've enjoyed, you know, if you guys are Blade Runner fans, we're always trying to look for something more, you know, going into the origins. This book has been solid. I've enjoyed it. I haven't got a ton of feedback from people wanting me to do really in-depth stuff on it, so I haven't. But you know, maybe I will at some point. Maybe I'll do a full. I'll do the quick flip on them, but I may wind up doing a full one eventually if you guys have any interest in it. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a nice cover.
Yeah.
Star Trek, of course. Dennis, if you don't know, is a huge Trek guy.
Yep. Today's special Trek shirt is
Trek guy.
Is from 2266 to 2269, the 3 years of the Enterprise from the TV show. It's the list of all the dead red shirt guys. So I'm wearing my memoriam today.
The Bequest is a book that Dennis and I both get. I was interested in it because I'm friends with Freddie Williams and I like his art. So
we had him on the show about a month ago.
I was going to say, if you're curious, we had Freddie on the show about a month ago on our Monday interview show. It's about an hour and change. So if you want to go check that out, you can see us talk to Freddie about his career.
And it was a great. He talks about the story and how this came to be, especially with me being a Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a role player of all different genres and stuff like that. And to get his background and take and how this book came to fruition, it's a great story. It really is. We've enjoyed the hell out of this. This has been another gem in the rough.
Yeah, if you like role-playing games, I think you'll like this book. It mixes that world with real world. So it's definitely a fun book. I was actually I look forward to this one.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah, me
for
too.
Vietnam Horror #3. I read #1. I was kind of confused. Doesn't take much, if you know me.
Yeah, but you like the art. It's black and white. I like the concept of it. I did a quick flip, and we did a review on #1, and I did a quick flip of #2. I'll do one on 3. It's been solid. It takes the Vietnam War, genre, and you could think of something like a movie like Apocalypse Now, something like that, and then mashes it with horror. And it sounds very basic, but the storyline was pretty intriguing. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
So you think the Vietnam War is a genre? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, it's a Vietnam. Well, Vietnam War is really a genre out of itself, just like the World War II books are.
Jules Verne's Lighthouse. This is a Dennis. Does that say #2? I can't even.
Yeah, that's #2. I wound up getting a different cover actually,
that is
which I haven't seen one. I know it looks like it.
Here, hold on, this one. Screen it.
But I wound up getting that cover. They had it. I just if on books like this, I just pick up one cover. This looked like a pretty decent cover. I like the looks, but it does kind of look like a Shadowhawk. But it piqued my interest, so I did pick up that version of it.
Oh, well, very good. So that's it. That's what the boys got this week.
Yep, I wound up picking up a few other ones that I didn't have. Far Cry, I did get Far Cry, which it was there. It wasn't on my list. I don't play the game, but the artwork looked really, really solid in it. So I did pick up that. Sacred 6 I don't normally get, but you all know I'm a big Perillo fan, and that's just a beautiful one. So Tony's been putting in Perillo art for me in there. So I picked it up. I do love that cover. So yeah, it's good. And then I wasn't not picking this book up, the Fantastic Four one this week. But this variant cover, as soon as I saw the cover, I'm like, crap, I'm giving Marvel some more of my money. Brett Booth cover, it looks great. So I don't know if the story will be any good, but I picked that one up for the cover too.
And I got in the mail, I backed this on Indiegogo. It's shiny. It is Star Blades by Kyle Ritter. Kyle is a fantastic colorist. I had no idea he had these drawing chops. He wrote this book, penciled it, inked it, colored it. The only thing he didn't do was letter it. So I got it on Indiegogo. I haven't read it yet. Once I do, I'm going to let Dennis read it and we'll review it. It is gorgeous artwork because I did flip through it. It's a really nice book. All Caps Comics put it out. That's Ethan Van Sciver's company. Kyle colors Ethan's books, Cyberfrog and such. And so Ethan put this out through his publishing company. I'm really looking forward to reading it. Like I said, the art is fantastic.
We did a quick flip look at it right beforehand, and because I hadn't seen it yet, and he's right. I actually can't wait for him to read this.
Unfortunately, it's not on demand on Indiegogo anymore. So it will be going, from what I know, they'll be doing a second printing of it. And I also, as far as I know, Kyle does plan on a volume 2. So we'll have to keep our eyes out for that. Moving on to the passing of a great actor, Charles Grodin. Grodin, 86.
86. And, it seems just like yesterday. I mean, he was, to me, one of the great straight men of all time. You got your Abbott and Costello.
Leslie Nielsen.
Laurel and Leslie Nielsen.
He was like Leslie Nielsen in a way because he was funny with the delivery without trying to be funny.
Right. And he usually played a straight man, not always. I mean, we can go back to, like, I think it's 1968, like Rosemary's Baby, if you remember that really horror movie. And where he played the doctor and stuff like that she had gone to. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's played a wide variety, but he always played one of the best straight men ever. So Andy and I were talking about it briefly. I'm like, he's one of the actors we just got to talk about. He's not necessarily a comic guy and stuff like that, but he was a great actor.
We talk movies?
We do. We do. So we each picked up a little trailer from one of the movies. I'd be curious to see what you guys think. You can let us know if yours is a favorite movie. But we're going to just kind of roll with, we're going to do mine first so you can figure out what my favorite movie of his
All
was.
right, so here's a Charles Grodin classic movie trailer. This is Dennis's pick. So let's take a looky here and watch a little Charles Grodin in action.
I want quiet in this courtroom.
Your Honor. Your Honor?
Hold. Just will you hold it?
No, Your Honor.
Well said, well spoken.
This is the story of a lawyer and her husband, the district attorney.
They offered me the Attorney General spot.
Oh, a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. Your ex-husband robbed the bank.
This is also the story of her ex-husband, a writer,
I don't get it.
and two thugs.
This cleared up for you? No, I'm afraid not. You see, I'm blind.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, you can.
And a stick-up.
Reading, self-explanatory.
What do we do?
I don't know, let's take a look.
That gives me
Such
such
a
a
right
right
away
away.
when you have one more sound, you're dead. Bless you.
And a getaway.
I was wondering if I could quit the gang. It's a mail-wise out. I don't know.
And when Neil Simon brings them all together, it seems like old times.
Do you know about that?
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
I did, but I did enjoy it.
I don't believe it.
You can believe it. Oh, I'll wait if it didn't turn out that good.
It's part Chevy Chase.
Still, the last thing in the world I want to do is hurt you. I'm putting you in any jeopardy. I'll leave right now.
Okay. Part Goldie Hawn.
Hey, oh, where is he coming from? If I was a stray dog, this is the first place I'd go to.
Part Charles Grodin.
They're getting on. Come on. Come on, you do.
Why am I always the last one in the neighborhood to get into bed with you?
Put them all together.
Oh, right there. You're under arrest. Police are on their way. They'd like to check it out.
Is that Benson, by the way? The actor who played Benson. Remember that show?
Yeah.
I'm the one driving the car.
And that guy, too. He was in a lot of
If
stuff.
you're innocent, they'll never send you to jail.
Is that how it works, Chester?
Not in my neighborhood. Seems like old times
Dude, I love
are
him.
coming for Christmas.
I want quiet in this courtroom.
Wow, that movie is 41 years.
Yeah,
old.
41 years old now. There were a lot of so the bad guy was in there. So for all of you Star Trek fans like me out there, that was Mark Alamo. He played Gul Dukat. And
Really?
I mean, yes, the makeup. He's just a recognizable actor. Robert.
Robert Guillaume.
Guillaume, yes.
No, one of our. Yep, that's who it was.
Yep.
Benson.
Yep.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh my god!" I used to watch Benson every night.
Yep.
There were so many good shows in the 80s.
I know there were so many good ones.
Oh,
thank
you for.
but-
Thank you.
Goldie Hawn, Chevy Chase, she was absolutely adorable in this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
again, Chevy Chase is the dork in it. Charles Grodin is the straight man, the DA, trying to do everything right, by the book. But his delivery his comedic delivery was great. Gonna miss him. That's why it's an old movie, and I haven't seen this in decades. Because yes, I'm that old, but I did enjoy. That's one of my favorite movies with him. That and So I Met an Axe Murder. He plays just a small part, but it was a great part. Anyway, Andy, let's see what yours is.
All right, here's mine. Let's hit play.
I love to travel by train.
Oh, yeah? What do you think this
Oh,
is?
yeah.
A class trip?
A tough
Yep.
cop.
Are you always this angry?
A sensitive criminal.
Oh, come on. Cigarettes are killers.
Another classic.
Why are we running away from the FBI? Because I gotta bring you back myself, otherwise I won't get my money.
I can't fly. I also suffer from macrophobia and claustrophobia.
He's got everything.
You suffer from fishophobia. They're seeing America the hard way. How would you eat that?
Why would you use it?
At gunpoint. Robert De Niro. Just relax. I'm totally relaxed. Charles Grodin.
50%, that's 13%. These people depend on tips for a living.
And the director of Beverly Hills Cop, midnight run.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
that is another good one. And I remember seeing that because that was when I graduated high school. That was one of the movies we had gone to see. It was great. I mean, yeah, that good pick.
That was
Good pick.
1988.
88.
So, I mean, it's just crazy. He was 45 when he did your
Seems Like
movie,
Old Times.
Seems Like Old Times.
Yeah.
And then 8 years later, 53, and he didn't look it. I had
No.
no idea because I thought him and Chevy looked to be around the same age and Seems Like Old Times.
Yeah, and Charles Grodin was younger. And then if you remember the Beethoven movies and stuff, he never looks old.
No.
Again, so in Axe Murder, even when
he
he tried
doesn't-
to commandeering his car, he didn't look old.
No, but once he did his talk show, he looked old.
Okay, yeah, granted.
No,
Granted.
he did. There was like with Grodin, it was like a switch flipped, and he just went. It's like he hit a wall. You know, it's like,
Yeah, and
look at me, I'm young, and then he turns a certain age, and it's like,
maybe
awe
that's
catches
why.
up.
But maybe that's why he wasn't on anymore. He was in Dave. He was great in Dave. If you hadn't seen Dave, that's where Sigourney Weaver and Kevin Kline. You know, they
body swapped Klein for the president.
Yep, he winds up being the president.
Was Sigourney the first lady?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, another really good movie, and of course he plays the buddy that comes in. And anyway, a fantastic actor. He will truly be missed.
I'm not going to go and say, and yes, people might hate me for saying Gone Too Soon. I don't go with Gone Too Soon. He was 86. I think he led a long, very fulfilled life with the amount of roles he had and the popularity and stuff he had. I think 86 is a hell of a run. If I was wearing a hat, I would take it off.
I'm going to look up just to see
Howard
his
Stern had
final
a
movie.
feud with Charles Grodin. I think I do remember.
Oh, I did
that.
not know that.
No, was that early 90s? I want to say it was early 90s because I do kind of remember it. What was his last movie?
Well, that's why I was just pulling up his very last movie that he did, which I know I haven't seen. It's called An Imperfect Murder in 2017.
Wow.
I have not seen
He was
that.
82 then.
Yep. So he did his acting chops. He did 3 movies in 86, or episodes. He did 1 movie and it looks like 2 episodes. So he still acted right up,
Wow.
you know, till his 80s. So good for him.
Yeah. I don't want to be doing shit when I'm that old.
Yeah.
When I'm 80, I want to be kicking back, saying stuff I shouldn't say.
Well, you do now.
I do that now. But then people will just go, he's 80, leave him alone. So
He's senile.
He's senile. So that's what I want to do. All right, let's move on to some other news out of Hollywood. Brie Larson reportedly cast as Luke Skywalker's wife. The first thing that comes to my mind is, wow, is Luke Skywalker robbing a cradle or what? Well, seriously, look how old Luke's. Look, Mark Hamill is no spring chicken, right? Brie Larson's in her 30s.
It won't be Mark Hamill. Why?
I see what you're saying. Because we don't know what this is for. That's right.
Well,
okay.
The issue is, so they mentioned
I was going
that
too literal.
he was going to be Mara Jade. So if you've read any of the expanded universe stuff, which I have, and the Mara Jade stuff was interesting. I did like it. It has to be a different actor. It can't be Mark Hamill. It would have to be him.
I see what you're saying.
In his prime.
Right.
But I think for those of you who've watched me long enough, I'm not a huge Brie Larson fan. I hated her as Captain Marvel.
What if it's a swerve and this is for something animated? So it's just her voice.
Wouldn't care as much.
Right.
I wouldn't care as much. But so anyway, this is supposed to be big, great news, and that's what it was touted out as. And honestly, I'm not all that impressed. It actually makes me want to watch it less. So I'll be curious to see, because the stories themselves, Mara Jade's exploits and in the books, they were great. Yuzan Vong and they were all interesting. We'll see. Then that explains why Luke was a bad. All right.
Exactly. Because I wasn't even thinking when I said Mark Hamill. I totally forgot that obviously they would cast a younger actor to play Luke Skywalker, so it makes sense. But that is a fantastic joke, yeah. And he probably took his lightsaber and lopped her head off.
You know, the problem is, so there's been so many rumors right now going on in the Star Wars universe. So from what we've seen, it looks like Kathleen Kennedy could be out, which everything is starting to point that is becoming a truth. So even if you noticed, May the 4th be with you, the posters came out. Everything that had to do with the last trilogy, everything to do with Rey, all gone. Everything to do with High Republic, gone. It was the original 2 trilogies. That's the entire movie posters. That's the first time since Kathleen Kennedy's been in power that has happened. So that the rumors could be true because that was an oddity going in. There's also been a lot of rumors that Brie Larson actually has some dirt on Kevin Feige, and that's one of the reasons why she landed the role and why he said she was her girl.
I mean, I think that was just not even true. I don't know. I mean, if Brie Larson,
there are rumors, and that's
I know, and if Brie Larson was like, I don't know, it just seems somebody with her background and stuff. What dirt?
I don't know.
You know, if she was like a 50-year-old actress, like older than him and has been around a lot and knows a lot behind the scenes stuff, and I just don't think she is. I mean, we know how old she is. I don't think she's that entrenched unless, you know, he made some moves on her. I don't know. I don't buy that one at all. But
there was rumors that Kevin Feige was coming over to take the helm of the Star Wars side. Yeah. And as soon as they made that potential announcement that they're trying to get him, then she becomes Mara Jade. So anyway, rumors, take them, leave them, what you want. All I know is this makes me want to watch that whatever Star Wars she's going to be in about as much as I want to watch Captain Marvel again. When she's not even going to be Captain Marvel in her own movie. It's going to be the Marvels.
Well, yeah, but she's Captain Marvel.
Doesn't matter. They took her as the focal point, and she's no longer the focal point of her own movie. It's going to be the 3 Marvels, and it's no longer going to be Captain Marvel centric. They've now mentioned that.
No, I know what you're saying.
So
I mean, I don't. Has she been annoying in interviews? Yes. The first movie I saw her in was it The Room? That I think, did she win an Oscar for that?
That was. I don't think she won. I think the I can't think of the actor's name that played the boy. I think he won.
Well, anyhow, I like that
great.
Movie. I thought that movie was really good. I didn't hate her in Captain Marvel. What I hated more was the garbage that came out of her mouth during some of the press interviews and stuff. I totally hated, and this isn't on her because I'm sure this is what the directors and stuff wanted. I totally hated that butch ass haircut in Endgame. I don't know why you would go, because like here with her long hair, I think she looks fantastic. You know, obviously it's feminine, and then for some reason she gets that butch ass haircut in Endgame, and I was just like, oh, why did you do that? That is garbage.
Well,
I hope in Captain Marvel 2 she looks like Marvel.
You know, so when she was drawn like that, I mean, she was good. It was enjoyable.
Right.
And then Marvel took that right-hand turn and just went whoop, took a 90-degree turn and went that direction. And if that's what you're going to want to do, great. Doesn't make me want to buy the comic.
No,
it make me want to watch the movie.
Well, whatever it is, I need more information. That's how I'll leave it. I want to see what it is, whether it's animated, live action. I want to see who's cast as Luke. And I'll be curious because once again, it's acting, and if she does a good job acting in whatever the character is, then I'll definitely watch it. What's Michael say here? Howdy ho! Well, howdy ho,
Michael's
Michael.
in the house.
Coming to Hickory this weekend, Michael? Hope so, because we're going to HickoryCon and I'll be a guest. All right, moving on to some other news. Let me close down this tab. So HBO Max announces a new animated Superman series with race swap Jimmy Olsen. I don't really, Michael says, nope, I have to work again. Damn it. Well, we'll be thinking of you, buddy.
Man, we have missed you at every convention.
I know. So anyhow, HBO Max is going to be doing a new animated Superman series. They're making Jimmy Olsen a black kid, and which, you know, whatever. I mean, you see the Superman movie, and they did it with Perry White. You see the Supergirl TV show.
That's what I was going to say. Is it's already being done as Supergirl?
Yeah, they made, you know, an actor that played him in Supergirl. If I had any critique of him, wasn't the fact that he was a black guy. It was the fact that he was huge and he turned into the Guardian. And I'm like, Jimmy Olsen is supposed to be a camera-toting nerd, not some buff jack dude.
Right.
And then he goes to Mortal Kombat where he got even more jacked, which from Mortal Kombat.
He was. He looked good.
Yeah, he looked great.
Horrible movie, which we reviewed.
Horrible movie.
But he looked good.
But he looked good. So I really, you know.
But at least this one, they've got him as a skinny little nerdy kid who likes cameras.
He's playing Jimmy Olsen appropriately, drawing-wise. It's the Lois Lane I'm looking at. What's with the Lois Lane where it's like, is she non-binary? Does she prefer they and them as her pronouns? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know why Clark would be attracted to that at all. You know, this is the only, I'll scroll down, this is the only snippet they show of what the animation looks like. So, you know, the animation style itself, I would say, lends itself more to kind of a manga feel, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, it has more of that feel.
It is. It's just, for me, this was supposedly big news and it was great stuff, and I don't know.
The first says they had to announce this before Discovery discovered their existence and canceled them. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it has kind of a manga feel, so I guess they're trying to play to that crowd because, you know, if you look at the leading graphic novel sales in the country, I believe the top 20 are all manga. Yeah. So way to go with the American comic market. But I tell you what I prefer. Let me scroll down. This is what I prefer. That Superman looks tough and rugged when he was in his Clark Kent guise. Yep. He pulled off through the animation. They pulled off the clumsy Clark Kent. That Lois Lane.
Look.
Long flowing hair, attractive.
Batman animated series, Superman animated series, Justice League Unlimited. That was a great style that flowed, and all superheroes look great. If you were male, you look great, and they drew you appropriately. If you're female, you look great. Yeah, it's not 100% realistic, but you know what? It worked really, really well. This reminds me more of Ben 10 or the kids' cartoons.
Right, and I don't know. Maybe this is going to be
Fairly Odd Parents kind of stuff, you know.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe this. Well, remember Teen Titan Go?
Yeah,
it has that Teen Titan Go feel. Now, I didn't watch Teen Titan Go.
It was a good show. It was funny as hell for a kid show.
Right, for a kid show. So you know what? If this is targeted at kids, okay. Just let's not make Clark too much of a doofus. And too much of a soy boy.
Well, as long as Clark can be a doofus, as long as when he turns into Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to see. I really, really want to see what Superman's going to look like in this style. I wish they would have shown that, because if they've got this developed, they've got a Superman shot they could have shown. And it's also kind of funny that they say who's voice acting. They say who's doing the voice acting for Clark and for Lois. But in this, at least, it doesn't say who's doing the voice acting of Jimmy, which if I was that actor, I'd be like, what the hell? So Jack Quaid, who's in The Boys, is Clark and Superman. I got to hear it. Yeah. You know, I got to hear it.
We'll hear what he sounds like.
And then Lois is played by Alice Lee. She's not somebody I'm familiar with, but, you know, as long as she has a, I don't know, nice voice, good actress. I mean, it's all voice acting, so whatever, that's fine. Yeah, let's see. I think we got a couple. Oh, no. X-Men the animated series was my favorite. Yeah, X-Men
the animated. New best friend. Move over, Andy. I agree. X-Men the animated series was the bomb.
And by the way, if you haven't seen it, go to Amazon. There's a great book out all about the X-Men the animated series. It's a nice hardcover book. Shows tons of character designs, tons of art.
It's great.
I highly recommend it. So definitely check out that book if you like that show. All right, now
Bad Batch.
Oh yeah, Bad Batch.
So I finally got caught up. I've got both my kids are in town. The entire family's together. We have been busy. So I finally had to get caught up with the Bad Batch. So we haven't done a lot of talking about it. It takes place right after the Clone Wars. The final season of Clone Wars was a home run. It was phenomenal. It's some of the best Star Wars that they put out in a decade or more. So they got big shoes to fill. So the Bad Batch rolls out. They got 3 episodes out now, and it's all about the misfit clones that have an issue with their inhibitor chip and stuff like that. One of them kind of turns, and they're still trying to figure it out. They find out there's another clone, Omega. She's pretty interesting. A young girl.
She's like what, 14 maybe?
Yeah, that's what they got her playing, like a 14-year-old. Yeah. Michelle Ang plays her, and I mean it's interesting. So they're on the run from the Empire basically, and one of their old crew members is after him. So yeah, it's pretty cool. One guy, D. Bradley Baker, he actually voices all of the clones in it. So it's actually pretty cool. He's a busy man.
Wait. This guy voices all of the Bad Batch clones?
Yeah.
Does he really?
And all the other clones. If they run into other clones, he's the voice of all the clones.
So all the clones that obviously look the same, he voices. And then there's 5 Bad Batch members, right?
Yeah, including the one that is being taken up right now by Grand Moff Tarkin.
Right.
Where
he voices all of them?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. I'm watching this because my daughter basically pleaded with me, said, come on, watch it with me.
Courtney likes.
Yeah, I've never watched Clone Wars or any of that stuff. So Clone Wars is the greatest Star Wars series ever. That's what everybody says. I haven't watched it. My daughter loved it. She's like, you got to watch Bad Batch. I'm like, I have no idea. So I'm watching Bad Batch. I'm totally lost. I mean, it's entertaining. But honestly, the only reason I'm watching it every week is because on Friday, Courtney's like, we got to watch Bad Batch.
If you're not a Star Wars fan, you're probably like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's just all right. But I am so impressed because I love behind the camera stuff. I'm so impressed that one actor does all the voices. That is freaking pull up his headshots. Would I recognize this guy?
Let
me see what he looks like.
Simpsons.
I'm going to see if I actually recognize him. Because I know, but
he's not pulling up.
But Hank Azaria on The Simpsons, it's like the Bad Batch.
Nope.
It's literally about click on the actual headshot.
I did. It spins.
All right.
So obviously,
Hank Azaria.
There he is.
Oh yeah, I don't recognize that guy at all.
Good for him.
So Hank Azaria with The Simpsons. I mean, The Simpsons has so many different people.
Yeah.
And not that the Bad Batch doesn't, but when you're saying this guy voices the 5 members of the Bad Batch and all the other clones, my first thing is, what's up, puss? You couldn't voice the little 14-year-old girl either? What are you, slacking?
Well, you know what? but now, because now the whole premise is she's a special clone, just like these guys are.
Right.
And that it's potentially that they all came from the same material, which would have been Jango Fett's original material, which is degrading, as we're finding out.
Right.
And so there's some interesting stuff going on in this. The very beginning of this was pretty cool because if you you really got to watch to get the full flavor of it. All of the Clone Wars, that final season was just amazing. Right where it ends, it picks up, what, 7?
Yeah, I'll never watch that.
Yep. So at least watch the final season.
7 episodes I would watch. 7 seasons,
Just watch the final season then. It is amazing. It is hands down the best Star Wars. And then they introduce part of it with Rebels because you kind of get the earlier part of the whole premise of Rebels. So they do a really nice job with this tying in. So Dave Filoni's, captaining this ship, and he's pulling it from the different areas. It's really decent. The storyline's not bad. I do like it. These guys are crazy warriors, and they're suddenly stuck with a child that they're having to raise. as one of their own, and they're not used.
Right.
They're warriors. They don't. Know
I mean,
how
I
to
did
do
like
this
at
crap.
the end of the third episode they gave her her own room,
That was pretty awesome.
which I'm like, these ships that they have are just so. I mean, it's like whatever they want to do because they never have to explain the inside of the ship. So it's like, yeah, we'll just do whatever we want. Man, let's make a room for her. Who cares?
I thought it was great.
No, I thought it was a nice touch. I know, I saw it already.
I can't.
He was laughing at my joke. My jokey joke for the voice actor not being able to voice a girl's voice. You know, Hank Azaria probably could.
He could voice anybody's voice.
It's set Hank Azaria.
He would make a blue Taj.
He's not.
He's not the Blue Raj.
Except the poo. He's not allowed to voice.
Come on. Blue Raj. Anybody out there know what I'm referencing?
I have no
Blue
idea.
Raj?
No idea. What is it?
I'll see if I'll give everybody like a minute here while we're talking to see if they have. I bet they know the Blue Raj. He voices them. So all in all, I think it's a pretty decent show. It's not great. It is designed for kids. So I mean, I think he's got it.
Oh, Mystery Men?
Mystery Men! Bam!
Oh, that movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Darkhorse.
Yes.
I remember that movie. Was it Ben
And
Stiller
he
in
uses
that too?
sports, of course.
Yeah,
He plays
yeah.
Rage, Mr. Rage or Captain Rage.
Yeah.
And,
That was a good movie.
it was a great movie for what it was because it was the la and his truth syrup.
Who was the female character in that?
Well, they had Janine Garofalo. She was the
that's
bowler because that was her dad. That
That's
was
right.
the bowling ball.
Yeah.
It was great. And then you had Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubin, and he's, pull my finger.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Mystery Man.
Good job. This is why we love having nerds on the show because we all know these references.
I know them once I hear more detail.
Yeah. So, Bad Batch overall, it's solid. As an average CGC rating, I'm giving it a 7.5. It is a solid show. It's great for kids. And Star Wars fans will appreciate it. If you're not a big Star Wars fan, it'll be all right.
I mean, I can actually agree with a 7.5 because it's not bad. It's just not, I'm lost because I don't know anything about Clone Wars. I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but I can appreciate what it is. So, I mean, I can easily see a 7.5 for it as a grade.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it a 2 just because it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, no, it's solid.
I am an objective reviewer, and being an objective reviewer, I will not put in my bias for not liking Star Wars.
Good.
Because would that be a subjective review then, or no?
Yeah, because we're going to have to do a Star Trek review at some point and see what you do then.
Of what, the whole show?
Of whatever.
I barely watched
the movie. I know. So we went to the movies last night.
Yes, we
for
did.
The big finale. So we went and saw Spiral.
Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Book of Saw.
Starring no less than Chris Rock. And I know Chris has done dramatic roles before, but I don't know if he's done a straight up serious horror movie before.
I don't think so. I couldn't think of one. And Samuel L. Jackson
played his dad.
And the great part about it is, it was an enjoyable movie. Very graphic. Definitely not something you're going to take your kids to.
No, I mean you don't take your kids to any of the Saw movies.
It was straight up faces of death kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what?
See, I didn't see the final season.
I still need to watch that season of Fargo. I'll be honest, Michael. I know we're going off on a tangent. I did not watch it. I was turned off when I saw that it wasn't taking place in present day and it was a period piece.
Oh.
And that turned me off because I've loved every season of Fargo, but when I saw that this one didn't take place present day, I was just kind of like, I don't care. So I didn't watch it, but you're saying it's good, so maybe I'll go back and watch it. Anyhow, Spiral. Yeah, I mean, I've seen all 7 Saw movies. I loved them all. I loved how they had no idea how the first one would do, and it did really well. And they made another one and another, and then I think they realized we've got something here. And I loved how they tied everything in. Hold on. Very dark. Damn it, you're selling me on it. I love Fargo. Okay, I'll have to watch it. I loved how, and Dennis, like you said, he hasn't seen Saw 6 or 7, the last two.
I hadn't.
But they tied everything together into this cohesive, let's just say each movie was 2 hours, 14-hour basic movie. Almost like the Avengers, or not the Avengers, but almost like the MCU. Everything's tied together so well. That is what they did with Saw. So I was very curious to see Spiral. Spiral was supposed to come out last October, but
we waited a long time for this.
COVID. Yes. So they were able, we don't want to go into spoilers. They were able to tie in all the previous stuff into Spiral, which I thought was so cool. Like Dennis said, they upped the ante with the gore and with the contraptions.
Like I said, if you've seen Faces of Death, and these were old ones where it was actual, bad footage and stuff from when we grew up, but it was actual people that died and stuff. It was so realistic and so graphic, and the torturous things that they did. This isn't for the faint of heart.
No, I mean there were scenes in this Spiral where both of us were
going,
like, oh, like you. Well, and that's the cool thing. That's the thing about movies, is if they can give you that visceral reaction, they're doing right.
Yeah, and they did. And if you like Chris, the great thing was Chris Rock nor Samuel L. Jackson had to act. If you like Chris Rock, this was serious Chris Rock.
Yeah,
his inflections, there was nothing about it. If you like Samuel L. Jackson and all of his tropes and all of his movies, they were all here. They basically played themselves, but it worked very well for this movie, just serious versions of them. I thought it was good. The new partner came in. He was enjoyable. He's got some interesting background and story.
Yeah, so basically, Chris Rock, he doesn't work with a partner, works by himself. He's had some issues. He's a detective, obviously. He's had issues with other cops. So, no other cops. He doesn't trust other cops. They don't really trust him. He's teamed up with this young buck rookie detective, and they are on the hunt for the killer that's basically taking, if you've seen the trailer, you know that the killer is taking out cops using some of Saw's, because I can't remember the actual murderer's name, using his contraptions and stuff, and do you want to play a game and all that stuff. So Chris Rock and his new partner have to figure out who it is. There's a nice twist. I think if you pay attention, because they always leave clues. So if you're into the Saw franchise, you're into the clues. If you're paying attention, you'll probably figure it out. I know we both did.
Yep.
But it was still enjoyable, to say, oh, we were right. I was right.
There was one twist that we didn't get, definitely, but most of the rest we were able to figure out. But it was pretty decent, except for the one. I was like, that makes sense now. But yeah, solid movie. CGC rating. What would you give the movie?
Oh, I go a healthy 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, I go 8. There's nothing between 8.5 and 9, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so I go
8.5.
I go 8.5. If you like Saw, if you like the franchise, go see it. I think it's cooler on the big screen just because you're really immersed in everything. Yeah, I give it an 8.5. I thought it was great. And it's definitely left open for a sequel. I hope to God there's a sequel. You do not need to stay through the credits. Let's see. You think Spiral was disgusting and watched the New York Mets pillar took 95 mile per hour. Oh, I think I saw that.
Oh, I did not.
I think I actually saw that. So, and no, I mean, sweet. Now I'm sold. Yeah, you should see it. I might have seen that fastball to the face, actually.
I'm gonna give it an 8.0. I enjoy the genres of them. I thought it was exactly what I was expecting, and then you have your expectation is, can they deliver it? And they did. It was definitely worth going to the theater to see. It was a solid movie. It was great to be back into the theaters. And there were enough people in there where it kind of felt like going back to the movies.
You know, when we first bought our tickets, there were only 2 other seats sold, so it would have been 4 of us. And I want to say, my guess, I think there's probably 10 to 12 people in the theater.
Yeah, there was a dozen.
So
There was a dozen
good.
people considering the time of day, and it was a weekday.
Yeah.
And on the last show, we were talking, by the way, we were asking all you guys about Jennifer Connelly and about Dark City, and we had gotten a bunch of responses. Well,
Dark City.
I bought Dark City.
Dark City.
So I
Did you
bought
really?
it. I did. I bought it. I got the director's cut. So we are going
gotta
to
do a
have
movie night.
We are going to have a viewing. Now the problem is, Andy, it's a 1998 movie, and that means the special effects are from 1998.
No. I'm pretty good from everything from 90 up.
Okay, then we should be pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely a change in how good special effects were done from 98 till now, or the 90s till now. But from 1990 up, they did a pretty solid job with stuff. So I can do that.
Yep.
Mike said, and Andy, I won't spoil Fargo, but you don't want to miss the murder tornado. God damn it. Now I got to watch it.
Now I want to watch Sharknado 6 because that's the only one we haven't seen because he's talking about murder tornadoes.
I know.
And that's what's triggered me because we haven't been able to find, but they just put Sharknado 6 up. It's the only one we haven't been able to get, and they had pulled it off. Yeah, so, and then we wound up, I also bought Career Opportunities, which was that was the other Jennifer Connelly, because it was the entire Jennifer Connelly, where she gets stuck in this Target store, and it winds up being a John Hughes film.
Oh, so
and
it's
it's a rom-com, so my wife will want to watch
that. 80s?
I
mean, was she young?
Yeah, she was fairly young. I'd have to look and see. It was like maybe 91.
Maybe one day you'll actually watch The Rocketeer.
I did watch it way back when, and I was like, And I know a lot of people like it. It was all right.
It was awesome. Billy Campbell, Jennifer Connelly. It was such a good movie. Just imagine if they remade it today, just with what they can do now that they couldn't.
I would
do back
love
then.
to see it. I would love to see it if they remade it. It was all right. I didn't hate it. It's kind of like you in Star Wars.
Oh, shut up. Did you ever see The Phantom with Billy Zane?
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
That was great.
It was.
Yeah.
I had no problem with that whatsoever.
Well, there you go.
Friday. What are we doing on Friday? It's happy hour.
Well, it's happy hour Friday, so we'll be drinking a beer. Michael has another comment. You like that, but didn't like Goonies? Wait, you talking to me?
Yeah, I
you
love
talking
Goonies.
To me? You talking to me?
I loved Goonies.
Are you talking to me?
And I loved E.T. And
Yeah,
I loved
like
Gremlins.
Rocketeer. Goonies is dumb.
You're just
So yeah, we're drinking beer. We'll talk some more news, comic book news. We'll scrounge up some news for you guys.
Silverlight. We did read Silver. So I did. I'm gonna give my copy to Andy. We'll do a review. Or Silver City. I mean, not Silverlight. Silver City. I've had a bunch of people asking about doing a full review. So instead of doing a flip-on one, we'll kind of talk about it and give it our opinion. It's definitely an interesting take.
Cool. Yeah, I'll read that. Let's see. I just found out Pilates doesn't exist. Chris Rock Spiral. Yes, that was hysterical. So wait, are you just pulling that from online, or did you actually see Spiral? That's the question.
He had some great
because
so
Chris
those
Rock,
are some great one-liners as he's talking to his new partner that he didn't want. The chief, I can't think of her name. She was great.
The chief is the other, like besides Chris Rock and Sam Jackson, I want to say the chief, the actors that played the chief, is the only other person that I recognized. I didn't recognize any of the beat detectives or beat cops. Who is it? Marisol Nichols. What else has she been in? Because she's very familiar.
We were actually talking. We should have probably looked this one up because Private Practice, The Storm.
He saw Spiral in theaters. Yes, we saw it yesterday. We loved it. I loved it. Loved the Saw stuff.
Oh, 24. That's
24.
That's
it.
Yes.
That's it. I knew I recognized.
Because I was like Cold Case, Blind Justice, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
She was in Charmed, but that was a long time ago. Nip Tuck.
Nip Tuck. Yep, I watched every episode of Nip Tuck.
Alias, she was in Alias, but not in all of
yeah.
them. You know, love Alias. But anyway, yeah, we were sitting there going, God, she's really familiar. We knew she was from something. Yes, 24.
What we'll also talk about on Friday is Superman and Lois is back. I will be watching that tonight with my daughter. Dennis has homework. And we'll talk about the latest episode of Superman and Lois on Friday.
I do, but tonight's family game night since everybody's there. And we're
Guess
going
what
to play a
tomorrow
quick
is?
game
Thursday.
of Talisman. And I'll be at Biltmore all day on Thursday.
Not Thursday night.
Yeah. We're not getting back until it's dark out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You'll be
it's a
gone that
full-
long tomorrow?
Yeah, full day.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a lot of work
So wait,
to do
what time are
Friday
you
morning.
leaving tomorrow to go?
Bright and early because we have tours, so like 7:30.
Wow. So Susie's off, right?
Yeah, everybody's off. We got everybody tickets. So
Maya?
no, just
just
John,
your
and
family.
my family and stuff, and their friends, and it's a big old road trip. So yep,
Nice.
gonna be busy.
All right, well, Dennis has a lot to catch up on Friday morning. Actually,
will.
not a lot. It's just he has to watch Superman and Lois Friday morning. Big deal.
And then I think I might let Andy pick the beers since the last couple have been too dark for him.
Oh, dark beer's gross.
It was great.
It's gross. So anyhow, we will be back Friday at 4 p.m. We'll talk Silver City, and we'll talk Superman and Lois. And we'll be back at 4 o'clock on Friday, drinking a beer, talking comics. And until then, now we're going to go get some food because I'm hungry. So
All right.
bye, everyone.
Yep.
Thank you for joining. We'll see you Friday.